Hey there, welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time here, welcome, welcome. You must be a crafter and loving it. All right, so in today's video, I will be doing a glitter mug. All right, so of course you need a mug. You will need some Mod Podge. This is the bonding agent of choice that I'm using. And I will be using a foam brush to do the application. And of course, my glitter. All right, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos, and please don't forget to drop a like. All right, so I think I've landed on the glitter I want to go with today. I'm going to go with the purple, and I always clean the surface of my work area to ensure that I'm removing any dust or fuzz or fingerprints from the area before I apply my designs. And I'm just using alcohol and a paper towel to do the cleaning. All right, so it's pretty easy. So because I will be applying a heart design, which I had made from my Cricut maker, I pretty much will be transferring it to the mug to use it as my design of choice today. So I use my transfer paper to remove the vinyl from the original backing, and I will be just lining it up a little bit on the mug just to make sure it's centered and straight. So I'm not going to press this on too hard because I will be removing it after my first application of glitter. It's just there as a guide, so I have a nice clean heart design for this mug today. So I'm just removing the transfer paper now, and I will leave the outline of the heart to work with. Okay, so everything looks great. Just wanted to make sure there were no air spaces where the heart is finished. I always go with paper plates. These softer ones are easier to bend, so when I'm ready to, transfer my glitter back to the container, it's easier for me to fold it and just pour it back into that container. And I also use it for my Mod Podge. It's just a cleaner surface to work with for me, and separating the glitter from my Mod Podge when I'm working. So the first thing you will do is you will apply some Mod Podge to the area. You can go over the lines because when we remove this from the mug, it will just leave a nice clean line. And that's why I chose to go with this design today. So you can find creative ways of putting designs on mugs or even wine glasses and, keep your work looking nice and clean and, of course, creative. Okay, so you don't have to do like a thick layer of Mod Podge. You just need a light application. And I am going to go in with some glitter. Now you can go heavy on the glitter because the plate below is catching all that glitter, and you can just pour it back into the container. All right. All right, so there was a little line there, and I think that was as a result of how I lifted my foam brush. I should have probably taking it all the way down. And I will show you throughout this video where I think I shouldn't have done this that I did here. I shouldn't have, but it's not a big deal. We're learning during this process, so you know what you should and shouldn't do when you're doing a project like this one, okay? So I did learn today, and now you're learning from my mistakes, so you won't have to make the same mistakes. All right, it did come out lovely, but just a point to note, you know, try not to go over once you do that first application of glitter before it is dried. Try not to go back in to add more Mod Podge while the area is still wet. All right, so it doesn't look obvious right now, but I'll show you further on in the video that there was like it was a little bit thicker than the rest of the areas. I did 2 applications, but I could still see that there was a little difference there. All right, so I will be removing the vinyl. So you just want to take your time and lift it off. Try not to have your vinyl fall onto the design because it's still wet, okay? And why am I removing it before this project is dried? Because I don't want when I'm lifting it, it's going to be ripping away at the design when it's dried. All right, so I find it's easier to remove it in this first step. And this is pretty, guys. All right, so this is just the first application of glitter. What I'm going to do is allow it to dry, and then I will go in with a second layer of Mod Podge and glitter. All right, so here we go. We're pretty much just repeating what we did in the first steps without the vinyl, of course. Just try to keep it close to the edges. Don't go over your design. And the foam brush will help you to keep things nice and aligned. So just work slowly and try to get a thin layer of Mod Podge on. And like I said, go heavy with the glitter. There's no need to worry about it being wasted. You could just transfer it back to your container. All right, so I allowed it to dry for a couple hours, and now I'm just cleaning the area. So this second layer is dry, and what I will do now is I will go in with some Mod Podge to seal this design. If you like, you could go in with 3 applications of glitter. You know, that's entirely up to you. I'm using a finer glitter, which I think I could go in with 3 layers, but I really didn't want it to be too thick. So I'm just gonna go ahead and seal this design. You can do 2 applications of Mod Podge to make sure that it's properly sealed, but for the purpose of this video, so it's not too long, I will only be doing 1 application of Mod Podge to seal this design. You know, off camera, I'll go back in and do a second layer of Mod Podge. But if you want it to be nice and sealed, just go in with 2 layers, 3 layers, you know, it's entirely up to you. And remember, these projects, they do take a couple weeks to cure. So yes, it is finished, yes, it's dried, but in terms of the curing process, it does take a couple weeks. So ensure that you give your project some time to properly dry and cure. You can gift it, but you could also just, you know, let the person know that, hey, don't rub on it too hard, because you want to make sure that it's properly cured. All right, so this is the finished product, and this is what I was telling you about right here, where you're seeing a little line, like a thicker area on the design. It's not too obvious, it's still pretty cute, and you know, you've seen all that purple and like a little bit of a fluorescent green shining out. Really nice. I love this mug, and I'm definitely going to be doing more of these in my craft. Thank you so much for watching.